Discover how the Strategic Plan for Judicial Innovations 2022 to 2027 is leading the way towards responsive and real-time justice. Witness a series of innovative judicial reforms, all aimed at boosting efficiency within the judiciary. Join us on this journey towards a better and more just future. Discover how the Strategic Plan for Judicial Innovations 2022 to 2027 is leading the way towards responsive and real-time justice. In this era of technology and information, the Spji is modernizing court processes and operations by embracing innovation. Join us on this journey towards a better and more just future. Discover how the Strategic Plan for Judicial Innovations 2022 to 2027 is leading the way towards responsive and real-time justice. Within the framework of Spji is a commitment to ensure equitable access to justice for all. Join us on this journey towards a better and more just future.
As we mark the first year of the implementation of the Strategic Plan for Judicial Innovations 2022 to 2027, or the SPJI, we are pleased to report the significant strides we have made in our 5-year reform program for the Philippine judiciary. On top of the list of our accomplishments are 2 projects aimed at strengthening judicial education: the digitalized bench book for Philippine trial courts and the Philippine Judiciary Online Learning Platform. The digitalized bench book for Philippine trial courts will greatly facilitate judicial proceedings through a ready and updated reference for judges that contains information on laws, rules, jurisprudence, and topics concerning the courts to aid them in their research when crafting rulings and in carrying out their tasks. The Philippine Judiciary Online Learning Platform, on the other hand, optimizes alternative ways of training judges and judiciary personnel by providing distance learning through online tools and resource materials. Here, the Philippine Judicial Academy, Spji, is in the process of adding content or modules. The court likewise completed the formulation of the Judiciary Enterprise ICT Governance Framework. This will kickstart the digital transformation of the courts, indeed a monumental feat under the innovation outcome. After a series of consultations with our stakeholders in the different regions of the country via the Ethics Caravan, capped by the holding of a national summit on ethical responsibility, the court promulgated the revised Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability in April of this year. The CPRA elevates legal practice to a higher platform of ethical responsibility and commitment in order to make legal services more accessible to the underprivileged and marginalized. In relation to strengthening legal aid initiatives, the court convened the 2022 National Legal Aid Summit in Bacolod City, Negros Occidental, aimed to develop a roadmap of avenues of access in line with our constitutional mandate to ensure that legal assistance is provided to the underprivileged at all times. Under the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, JSCC, the court, together with the Department of Justice and the Department of Interior and Local Government, through the European Union's Governance in Justice second Go Just 2 program, launched the first ever trafficking-free zone in Zamboanga City. The Zamboanga City Justice Zone will not only tighten loopholes in the investigation, arrest, prosecution, trial, and judgment phases of anti-trafficking cases, but will also pilot breakthrough initiative towards a more victim-centered approach that will hopefully pave the way for a more effective counter-trafficking program. Still under the JSCC, we launched the Tagaytay City Justice Zone, which focuses on development and tourism, with the objective of ushering in swift, efficient, and effective administration of justice in the city. Under the objective of developing and deploying intelligent platforms for self-help services public assistance, and public access to court-related information and services, the court completed the addition of court locators in its website. For the strengthening of the foundation of the Sharia justice, the court held the historic first National Sharia Summit last March 5 to 6. The court approved the conduct of the Go Justice Study for an institutional review and assessment of the Sharia justice system, which will include evidence-based study on the expansion of the mandate of the Sharia courts and on strengthening the Sharia legal education system. As to gender equality and sensitivity, the court completed the study on gender representation and mobility in the Philippine judiciary and adopted the guidelines for the use of gender-fair language in the judiciary and gender-fair courtroom etiquette. The court also created the SC Management Committee to harmonize the judiciary's programs, ensure that all stakeholders are performing their roles efficiently and effectively, and oversee the judicious utilization of judiciary's resources. An Interim Planning and Development Office, Interim PDO, consisting of the representatives from the justices' offices and other key offices, was also organized pending the establishment of permanent PDO, which is tasked to formulate the judiciary's development strategies and periodically review the progress of all development plans. To ensure the well-being of the judicial officers and court personnel, the court established a mental health unit in all court levels, including the appellate courts. For judges, a self-test for judicial burnout has been rolled out to determine whether they experience burnout in their judicial tasks. As you can see, we have accomplished several activities under each of the three target outcomes of the Spji: efficiency, access, and innovation. All activities and projects are guided by the four guiding principles of the Spji: timely and fair justice, transparent and accountable justice, equal and inclusive justice, and technologically adaptive management. Apart from these completed projects, several other activities in relation to those I mentioned are ongoing or are nearing completion. These are the system-wide process mapping, reorganization of the first and second level courts, and the creation of regional court managers, revision of the rules of court including 138, admission to the bar, review of the Code of Judicial Conduct and Code of Conduct for Judicial Personnel, operationalization of the Office of Judiciary Marshals, compilation and codification of all rules, collation and publication of all court issuances, development of 5-year ICT Strategic Plan (EISP), development of a Judiciary MIS Operations Manual, retooling of the Justice on Wheels program, revitalization of the National Justice Information System (NJIS), drafting of rules on the Unified Legal Aid Service (ULAS), and workshops on gender, sensitivity, and inclusivity application. For the well-being of court officials and employees, we shall implement a socialized health insurance system, establish child-minding centers, and conduct a national mental health summit. The completion of several Spji activities and projects within the first year of its implementation was made possible by the synchronized, well-coordinated, and dedicated efforts of the entire judiciary, from all the members of the court to other judicial officials and every court employee nationwide. We are all determined and committed to achieve more meaningful and lasting reforms for our judicial system, and I am confident that the Spji would be our enduring legacy to all stakeholders in the judicial system. We thank and appreciate as well our hardworking court officials and employees for their individual and collective contributions towards improving the delivery of court services. As I have emphasized during the 2023 American Judges Association 62nd Annual Conference held recently in Honolulu, Hawaii, the most critical component of a successful digital transformation is the people comprising the organization. Their mindset is essential to this transformation. Hence, we must build on the strategic alignment towards our reform initiatives, develop capabilities needed to adapt to the change, and build and maintain a culture that sustains the change. The institutional knowledge of employees during the times of change is invaluable. Their involvement and support to our reform efforts are crucial to the realization of our goals for the judiciary. It is not enough to recognize their role in this transformation. We must empower them to become change drivers, tap into their expertise, and engage them in a meaningful and productive collaboration in a free exchange of ideas and insights drawing from their years of working in the courts. That is why the judiciary is investing in various training activities, workshops, and resources to equip not only our employees but also the members of the legal profession with the requisite tools and skill sets to thrive in a digital era. The court shift to digitalization is the principal strategy for Spji. A retooling of the judiciary would not only result to greater efficiency and transparency, but also increase access to justice. Judicial and legal institutions are meaningless without adequate access to justice. There is failure of the rule of law if barriers exist to the enforcement of rights by the underprivileged and marginalized sectors of society. Moreover, an effective justice system contributes to a stable and conducive economic environment. Among the innovations powered by new technologies that we have pursued and successfully made operational is the Judiciary E-Payment Solution, JEPS, where all first and second level courts are required to utilize electronic payment of legal fees and other court collections with certain exceptions and preferences. The JEPS makes it easier and more convenient for litigants, their counsels, representatives, and persons requesting for clearances, certifications, and other services from the courts to pay fees electronically through online banking and digital wallets such as GCash and GrabPay. The conduct of remote conferences and court hearings, especially during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, was made possible with the Philippine Judiciary 365, PJ 365. The Supreme Court has partnered with Microsoft for the development of this platform for the lower courts. As already mentioned, the PhilJal Learning Management System, LMS, allows justices, judges, court officials, and employees to access training courses at their most convenient time, whether in the office or at the comfort of their homes, thus allowing participants to completely control their time and focus on their tasks. The goal is to eventually develop the spirit of self-learning within the judiciary and to promote healthy discussions and exchange of ideas and best practices through online forums. For the process of admission to the bar, we held the first ever digitalized and regionalized bar examinations in February 2022. We are continuously improving on this new modality for the benefit of examinees coming from the different regions of the country. To further facilitate and enhance their bar experience, we implemented the Bar Applicant Registration Information System and Tech Assistance, Barista, beginning this year. We are currently developing Barista for the 2024 Sharia Bar examinations. The revised guidelines on submission of electronic copies of Supreme Court bound papers pursuant to the efficient use of paper rule took effect on June 1, 2023. It utilizes a modern e-filing network to allow justices and selected court officials and personnel to securely access and view case records online, reducing the need of requesting physical rollo, and allow all concerned to work simultaneously and securely even under remote work arrangements. Starting April 5, 2024, the primary filing of all pleadings and other court submissions in civil proceedings in lower courts shall be by electronic transmittal. Finally, the court recognizes the power and potential of artificial intelligence (AI) to transform, improve, and streamline judicial processes. Thus, we are exploring the use of AI to enhance court operations and legal research. At present, we are employing the use of AI for voice-to-text transcription and have started with 20 pilot courts across all court levels. We are likewise redeveloping the Judiciary e-Library to improve legal research. Through natural language processing, the same technology behind ChatGPT, we will install a search engine that will provide more accurate and reliable results. Through machine learning, search algorithms will constantly self-improve based on the feedback of users. AI-enabled tech will also generate analysis based on words and phrases, including their context, from the previous cases or legal precedents, and predict and suggest possible outcomes for new cases. Regarding AI, we understand certain fears among court employees as regards digital transformation rendering their present work irrelevant, primarily due to lack of knowledge or skills on their part. Let me again emphasize that the court is investing in various training initiatives, workshops, and resources precisely to equip them with the requisite tools and skill sets necessary for work in this digital era. I have repeatedly pointed out that in the system-wide reforms we are pursuing, no one will be left behind. Together, we will finish this journey towards our ultimate goal of delivering responsive and real-time justice to our people. While we are banking on the potential of new technologies to improve court processes and operations, we are aware of the issues and challenges the courts may encounter, such as cybercrimes, handling of digital evidence, challenges on jurisdiction in the digital realm, integration of legal tech tools in court processes, expert witnesses in cases involving complex technological concepts, the algorithmic bias in determining criminal judgments, issues of transparency, accountability, and fairness, algorithmic accountability, and the legality and authenticity of AI-generated content. Rest assured that the court will address these challenges as we pursue our reforms with utmost circumspection and paramount regard for the integrity of the judicial process and the supremacy of the rule of law. At this point, we can only stress the need for the court to remain adaptable, invest in technology infrastructure, and develop legal frameworks that align with the digital age, while remaining faithful to the principles of justice, equity, and due process. Thank you very much.